Hey friends, it's Laura with Laura's Handmade Haven. Welcome or welcome back. I'm so glad you joined me today. We're going to be continuing our series on the Let's Bake Quilt Sew Along. And this is kind of a little bonus video for you guys. So even if you're not making this quilt, you may get something from this video to help you out with some partial seams. Yes, I said it. We're going to tackle partial seams today because those stitched flowers in the border have 4 little strips that go around them. And in order to make that work, you've got to get your partial seam game down. So I'm going to show you a few tricks on those, and hopefully before the end of the video, you will have the confidence you need to get your partial seams working too. So without further ado, we're going to head on over to the sewing machine and we are going to get stitching. So this is the block we're making today. You see how it has these 4 little bordering fabrics around it, and it's so super cute, and it's really not that hard once you figure out how to do that partial seam. And partial seams are not scary. I promise you, we can tackle this together. You will be a pro by the time you get done with these. There are 28 of these cute little stitched flowers that go around in your border. And remember, I have decided to not do the stitched flowers, but instead do these cute little applique flowers. And I love how these blocks are turning out. So let me show you how you can get your stitched flower border together lickety-split. Just in case this is your first video with me, let me tell you what I'm using. I'm using a Juki DX7. It came with this extension table, which I love for my quilting projects. I am using a Cerakote 100% silk finish cotton thread. That's in a cone form, and you can get it in spools, but I like the cones, so that's what I use. That's both my top and bobbin threads. I use a Schmetz Microtech needle, and I use a 1/4 inch piecing foot that I absolutely love so much. So that's pretty much what my little setup is here. I do have several of these little stitch flowers still to do, and I have my project box full of my 2.5 by 6.5 inch strips. Now I definitely cut way more than I needed for this quilt, but that way I have a good variety. And honestly, I went through all my scraps and just cut out all the strips from a variety of fabrics. And for the most part, I don't have too many duplicates, which kind of tells me I might have a problem with some fabric. But anyway, so we are going to start with the red flower. And the only rules that I have been going by on this is if my flower is red, then none of my borders are red. You don't need to follow that, but if you want to know how I decided on how to do these, that's just really the only rule that I'm going by. The only other one is that I don't want 2 colors of the same fabric on the same block. And I want to try to mix up my lights and darks as much as I can, but I'm not overthinking it. I'm trying to keep it super easy. So I'm going to walk you through doing 1 block, and that way we'll talk through this partial seam and we'll talk through how you can break that down and get it done. But then I'm going to show you what I've been doing, which I've been doing 2 blocks at a time. And that way you can see a method to just kind of speed up the efficiency of making these blocks. Now, like I said, I really don't have that many rules about what fabrics I'm using on these blocks, except that I don't want to use a red border fabric because my flower is red. All right, so this is the first piece, and you can see that I am not to the edge of the block, but I'm going to stop right here with a stay stitch, and I'm going to cut my thread, and this side is going to serve a purpose of being that partial seam. This is the partial seam that we're talking about. This is the only one you're going to be doing on this block like this, because of the rest of the strips we're going to start building up here, and we can sew the entire length, and then the next one we'll be able to sew the entire length, and the last one we'll sew the entire length, and then we'll come back and catch this one. So let's pick our next fabric color. And again, I'm trying not to overthink this too much. Now, I will have to tell you that sometimes I catch myself, I'm like, ooh, but I like this one, and oh, if I have this color, I should do this color. But really, try to keep it simple, be kind to yourself. If you have a good variety of scraps, then your blocks are gonna look amazing. So here's my 2 pieces, and now I have 1 more to put on here, and I'm gonna go with this brown color. And I'm just going to line it up on that bottom edge, and it will line up to the top corner here. Now, when you're sewing next to those applique flowers, make sure you go a little slower, just because otherwise you might have a little wiggle and your seam won't be quite as straight as you would want it to be. So just keep that in mind when you're sewing close to these applique flowers. And now we just have one more strip to put on here. And let's see, I've had yellow and blue and brown. Let's do a pink. Why not? And again, we're just going to start at this edge and line it up with the other corner and sew on our strip. And again, this is just like normal, right? It's just sewing the entire strip onto the side of the block. Now, since we have this first partial seam and it's just hanging out here, all you got to do is fold this over, line up your corners, sew from the edge. Now I've been pushing all of my seams towards the border fabrics, so I'm going to make sure that's down, pressed against the pink. And you can sew over part of your beginning seam. It's not going to hurt anything. And now we have our block together, and it was really that simple. So don't worry about those partial seams. They will be fine, and you'll be great doing them. All right, so let me show you what I've been doing so I can get a little more blocks done in a little less time. I have a yellow flower here, and again, I'm just going to arbitrarily pick a color. Sew that partial seam. Now remember, you don't want to go all the way to that edge. You can go, halfway, 3/4 of the way down, all that's fine. Just don't go all the way down here. And make sure you leave at least 1/2 inch. Anything less than that, and you're just going to run into problems. And you just don't do that to yourself. All right, so now I'm going to grab my second block. Now this one is just hanging out back here, right? I'm going to grab another block, and I'm going to do the same thing. Now you might wonder, well, why do you do that? Why do you do that? This is why. Because I don't need to cut my thread that way. And the more times you cut your thread, the more likely you're going to have your machine come unthreaded. And then you're just going to be slowed down by trying to rethread your machine. And it's just not a good time, right? So if you want to do this a little more efficiently, you can definitely speed it up by doing 2 blocks at a time. Now, could you do more than 2 blocks at a time? Absolutely. I'm just happy with 2. Use my thread cutter on the side of the machine, even faster than the scissors. And then we're back to just lining it up on the edge and stretching it so not really stretching it, but just getting it flat so it goes to both edges of the block. Now we're on our third side here. Now the flower is yellow, so I don't want any yellow. I don't really want like 2 blues next to each other, I guess. But I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world, right? They're going to be next to each other. When you put all these blocks together, you're going to have the same colors together. That's why it is nice, though, when you have a good variety, because you can guarantee that you'll have, lots of different fabrics in your quilt, and you won't have the same fabrics next to one another, at least. Now, if you do not have that kind of variety, then I would encourage you to maybe lay your blocks out a little bit in the order that the border is going to be in. And that way you can see and make sure that you don't have, like a whole string of the same color going down the side of your quilt or between blocks or something like that. And that could very well happen to me too with this. I'm just willing to take that chance, I guess. All right, so now we have the last strip to put on this last block. Now, like I said, the one thing that I am doing when I'm putting this block together that you may not notice is that I am making sure that all of my seams are pressed out to the border color, the border fabric, not the little flower. I'm pressing my seams all one way so I can definitely just turn that and sew off the edge of the block. All right, so this one is done completely. It can go over on the ironing board. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my last two blocks. I have been busy this morning. I wanted to do this little video for you guys, but I also wanted to make sure that I had all these little blocks together so I could just have that part of the quilt done. And so I got up early and I started sewing on these, and then I thought, well, I made some pretty good progress, so now I will do this little tutorial. All right, now we're on our last side, so we will go ahead and go back and catch the rest of that first seam that we weren't able to do to begin with, but we can now. All right, so now I have a whole bunch of blocks to press. I'll show you pressing one of them, and I'll get the rest of them done, and we'll do a wrap up. So I have a bunch of blocks to press, but we'll get there, you know, it'll be fine. And then our border blocks will be ready to put together. And honestly, if you wanted to go ahead and start putting your borders together, you could totally do that. I'm going to wait, and I will probably be releasing another little bonus video on that. But just pressing these out, I just, you know, since I made sure when I was sewing them that I finger pressed all those seams to the outside away from that center block, then all you got to do is just put them on your pressing mat and press them out, and they will be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so I have a lot more of these to press. I'm going to go ahead and get those done, and then we'll do a wrap up. I have all my stitch flower border blocks together. They're all up here laid out. Now, I will tell you that I did a little bit of tweaking here and there. Really, I didn't change any blocks up. The only thing I did was when I was laying them out, I just made sure I didn't have two of the same fabrics really close to one another, or two of the same colors close to one another. And I may still play with this a little bit more. I don't know. I think that you could probably play with this for eternity and still have some things that you would want to move around. But if you're doing scrappy, then you've got to embrace scrappy and understand that sometimes that means that you may have some similarities here and there in your quilt top, but it looks scrappy, and that's what you're going for. Now, the only thing that I did not tell you when we were sitting at the sewing machine that I want to point out to you is this. When you're making these blocks, you want to try to start on the same side of your block every time. Otherwise, if you happen to have this first piece shifted up, then the block is not going to look the same. Your strips won't be going the same direction around the block. So there's no, and to be quite honest with you, I did not pay attention to the original design. I don't know if I started on the right side or not. So if you want it to be exactly like the original design, then make sure you check out her blog and the sew along guide, and make sure you start where they start for each of the first strips. Now, I can tell you that I started on this side, and I lined it up at the top of the flower and sewed down to here, and then I sewed the top, the left, the bottom, and then finished up on the right. But if you want your blocks to look like this, that's what you're going to do. If you want them to look like the original design, then check out the blog and see how they did it. I really don't know at this point in time because I haven't looked. But all of my blocks are the same, thankfully. I didn't think about that when I was sewing them. I really kind of lucked out. And this is what my appliquéd stitched flower border is going to look like. And honestly, at this point, since I have all the blocks together, I could go ahead and start sewing the strips. If you want to start sewing your border strips together, then you're going to start by sewing the 6 blocks that go down the left and the right side of the quilt, and then you're going to sew the top and the bottom 8 blocks together. Now, my recommendation to that is take a picture of your design wall or wherever you lay out your blocks. That way you have that for reference, just in case blocks get messed up and out of order or something. You have a picture to go back to and reference. And then also label your borders. So if you go ahead and sew your borders together, label them left, right, top, and bottom. And that's going to really help you out when we get down to assembling the quilt top, which is going to be a little ways from now, but we're getting there. Together, we are getting this quilt together. So it's going to be amazing, and I cannot wait to see what our Let's Bake quilts look like when we get them all sewn up. This is all I have for you today for this video. I hope you enjoyed the tips and tricks I shared. I hope that your stitch flower blocks are coming along nicely. Do you have your border blocks done? Are you going to tackle it? Where are you at with the Let's Bake quilt? Leave me a comment down below. Until next time, find joy in all you do. Carve out some time for crafting and creating. And remember, it's always better when you make stuff up.